out. Basically, it's called How Do We Organize? How do we organize? That is the number one challenge. And that is what I'm trying to work on with the virtual machines. Trying to find out which ones are working, which ones are not. I believe this is episode 3. So we'll just go back to there, minimize. I don't have a super setup. So if you see here on the left, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and we're running this Mac HD, and they basically are all the same Snow Leopard, but they have different logins. But something funky is going on because these are like old OVAs that I re-imported, and like the weird names appeared, and like my passwords that I haven't used because I haven't used the machines for quite some time. I don't often go in here. They just stopped working, so I had to like make another admin, and now it's might not be able to stream with just 8 cores because I'm running Photoshop, VirtualBox, OBS, and what else? I don't know. So let's just try. I think it's dead. So let's just log out. Let's quit the machine. Let's just power it off and then power it back on. Basically, I just installed Xcode. So this is a recovered Mac HD. So what I'm doing is trying to find where each one of these are located. And it's really simple because it tells you exactly where they are. So for example, this one right here, if you right click in this little box, left click, it will tell you the details, the logs. So I want to see the details. Now that's all the info. If I right click again and I go to show and explore, it'll tell me exactly where that is. So now this entire VM I know is here in that folder, in that drive. So I can copy the path if I wanted to as text, right? Right click, copy the whole path, and then add it, like, say, to a notepad. If I wanted to. If you're trying to organize. Okay, so now I know where that path is. Okay, so let's minimize that. Now, say I want to move this, right? The whole point is trying to save space and make more space for new items. Because as you go, you're always growing. And because these are virtual machines that are expanded, or I should say flexible, they grow as you use them. So here's the whole the machine right here. So if I go up 1, there it is. And it looks like, and then if you look in there, and you look in there, can be confusing. So what I'm going to do is create a special icon for it, just so it pops out for me in the future, so I know. And I'm just going to put a little a little star on it. Okay, so now I know that particular folder. So, because just yesterday I transferred 3 virtual machines onto a little portable terabyte SanDisk drive, and I ran the virtual machines off the SanDisk drive. And that drive is not plugged into this machine at the moment, so I can't really show that, but you just get an external flash drive and you copy and paste the entire virtual machine folder. But ideally, you want it to be in this format. So for example, on my C drive, in my users, there I am, my virtual machine folders, VMs, are all in this folder right here. Down here it says VirtualBox VM. So if I open it, there they all are. Now these are the master files. So essentially you want to have a folder called VirtualBox VMs and then another folder with the actual virtual machine inside of it. If you are going to move these around, you don't just grab the folder and move it into another folder. Make sure that the folder you move it into is named VirtualBox VMs. So this is another path, for example. So I'm going to copy this address as text. So this is the C drive path. So essentially you want the path of the VirtualBox VMs, and then, for example, if you want to add or move it, you would make the syntax like that, and then you would put Mac HD, for example, there. But I was just showing you an example of how the hierarchy should be labeled if you're going to take an entire virtual machine. Say, for example, this is 28.5 gigs. This is a whole Mojave VM. That's a whole Snow Leopard. That's another Mojave. Snow Leopard, Snow Leopard. Android, Android. Big Sur, that no longer is Big Sur because they took it away. Anyways, we were in this Mac HD. So let's open it. It got stuck because I think I have Photoshop open and I'm OBSing. It might not run. I don't know. Check it out. I'm going to reopen it. And just to see if my OBS is still running. Yeah, it's still running. Now, how this machine came about was basically my descent into the hell of diving into VirtualBox and experimenting every which way but loose with many, many fails and many successes, but many, many fails and many, many hours and hours and hours. So if you look on the left side, these are all VMs that are running, but because they're starting to pile up, like I have to like get rid of some of them. So I originally had another one called Pimpo, and then the password stopped working. Maybe they got pissed off because I called it Pimpo, and then Zingpo. And for me, I just labeled it that because it was easy to remember. So I do have a password for those, and we're about to log in if my crazy ass can find it. So we'll log into this one, Zingpo, and this better be correct. But the problem is I set a master password for this machine, and I totally cannot find it. Okay, so we're there. There's no sound, even though it is Snow Leopard version of the server, the old school. So just so you know, there is CDs where you can install old Xcode if you just want to practice. It's 3.0, but for example, I installed Xcode 3.0, and I just want to show you this archaic Xcode. And this is on Mac OS X, okay? This is an install DB that is legit, but it's an ISO. I didn't get it from Mac, or maybe I did. I don't remember. Actually, I don't remember where I got it, so I can't say for sure. But it has this nice optional installs, and it has this Xcode package, and I just installed it, so we're gonna check it out. And it even has a development Let's see here. What is this optional? I want to see what it is. It's like there is a tutorial. Okay, let's see what it is. It's optional. It's going to see if I can install this option. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out. What am I agreeing to? It requires no additional space. Go back, go back. I don't even know what software it is. But in this Xcode package, they have like a tutorial. So let's open it. So how I did that was through the VirtualBox devices optical drive. I attached the Snow Leopard ISO up on that host over there. Not host, but the optical drive SATA. Okay, so that's how I attached it and just open it. So now we're going to get rid of it. Eject it. And then the last but not least, I have to change the background because it just, ugh. And I don't. See, this particular Snow Leopard is souped up. Some developer made it custom and it has all these extra weird apps that are designed to like modify the entire Apple system software. And some of those apps we'll get into, but they're so complicated and I'm not skilled enough to like be able to teach them, but I'll show them. But what I'm trying to do right now is change the background just because I prefer the plants. And this is like my favorite one here. There we go. Okay. So that is the desktop that I did have and I really liked it. So when Xcode installs, see like my Appleseed information is in this virtual machine that like I don't know why it's permanently saved in here because it's like I created anyways, that's another story. So there's the developer folder and that's where Xcode is. Now, it's not like you're going to see the icon. So if you look, you're like, well, where the hell is the app? And why doesn't it look like, why aren't your apps on the side? So if we look on applications, if I go down, the very bottom of the line is uTorrent, then utilities. You would think Xcode would be down there, right? There's not very many applications, and there is no app store. Well, there is, but there isn't. So where the developer um, is here. You just go into the hard drive, you go into developer, and right below about Xcode is the applications. So what is nice is that they do have this starter tutorial that I really want to use. Let's look at about Xcode. And then we got this documentation, which is nice. But they also provide like a full like 400-page PDF of Xcode. But this is 3.2 for Snow Leopard. So nobody is using this and there's no Swift. But if you want to learn C++ and do Cocoa applications, this would be a good starter. But what I'm looking for is the documentation. There's Python 2.6, a package maker, a registry editor, the interface builder, the instruments, which is cool. Dash code is something else that's cool. But there's a there's an app I'm looking for. See, this is one of 73 pages. This is another one, how to get started. Okay, so you want to install it to desktop from the menu to the dock. That's great. Stacks. Oh, this is Welcome to Snow Leopard. My bad, not Xcode. That's not what I'm looking for. There is a, but that's good to have. That's just like old school, good library material archive. Oh, whatever. Okay, let's just open it up. Because maybe when I open it up, it'll be on the home page. But you cannot like double and triple install and uninstall this application. Trust and believe, it's very highly organized in a certain way to be set up. And if you uninstall and reinstall it, it will fuck everything up, especially because here we go. Getting started with Xcode. Look, there's a great tutorial. This is not like in later versions, like 10 and up. Like right now, 12.3 Xcode does not have a tutorial like this. It just takes you, what do you want to make? What kind of app do you want to make? Boom. Go, 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 go. There's not like a thorough, I mean, yes, there's help pages and there's obviously forums, help forums, but it's not like this. Now watch this. I want to show this when it always launches. Okay. Now this I think is really neat. Look at that, you guys. Developer documentation in a little like its own browser. Getting started. Follow the tutorial. Learn how to be productive quickly. Ah, that's so exciting. So that's what we're going to do next on episode